Good day, everyone. My name is MicheleDClark, and I'm just a small town girl with big time dreams who God has shown His grace and His mercy, and He's definitely saved me from some life threatening things. And when I say small town, of course, I'm talking about Harvey, Illinois, for those of you who do know me. And for those who don't, Harvey is a south side suburb near Chicago. Now, try to say that with peanut butter in your mouth. But, even if you don't know where Chicago is, you definitely don't have to be a rocket scientist or reporter on America's Most Wanted to know how Chicago got its nickname, Chirac. I'm talking about people who were thugging and drugging and stealing and killing, doing all sorts of things. But instead of doing that, instead of being a dope dealer, I became a hope dealer with my company, Lift Nation, where I am empowering professional women to live inspired-free and transformed. And in order to do that, I got my bachelor's in psychology, I got my master's in social work, but I also got my PhD from the School of Hard Knocks. Because like I said at the top, I've definitely been through some things. So you know what? But it's because of those things that I am now the Harriet Tubman of authenticity, empowering women to break the chains of stereotypes and shatter those glass ceilings and shed the baggage of past traumas and tragedies in order to live more triumphantly. I wanted to come to you all today because, I was riding my bike earlier and I had some earbuds in and I was listening to some personal development. I was listening to Les Brown and Steve Harvey and then a couple other, Jim Rohn. It was kind of like a compilation of different things. And then when I got home, I was listening to T.D. Jakes. So I just was listening to some positive things in my ear. And one of the things, hey Ali, how are you? One of the things I was just thinking about is I wanted to impart some life hacks, some mental, some mind-setting life hacks. So I don't know if you've ever experienced where, I'm sure you have, where you may have felt down or may have felt defeated or may have felt as if whatever you're trying to do, it just doesn't seem to work out for you. Or you may feel like you take 2 steps forward, so 1 step backwards, or even worse, you take 1 step forward and 2 steps backwards. You're like, well, what is going on? It's like Murphy's Law is working against you like in overtime. I mean, you guys know who Murphy is, right? Whatever can go wrong will go wrong, and at the worst possible time. So if you've ever felt that in your life, I want to give you all just a couple of quick mindset hacks. One of them is just what I was doing when I was riding my bike. Now, I wasn't really trying to get myself out of any kind of slump, but of course, I was in a pretty decent mood. And when I was riding the bike, that's another life hack, you guys, movement, right? I was riding my bike and then I put in the earbuds to uplift myself even more. So that's called layering. So when you do one activity that helps you to feel good and then you put another one on top of that, that's layering. So the first activity was me riding my bike. So getting some exercise in, getting some movement in there because movement matters. So when we start moving, so motion creates emotion, right? So motion creates emotion. So when we get into motion, it creates an emotion. And the motion that I was doing was good. It was good motions. So therefore, I was having good emotions as an output. Input, good. Output, good, right? Or you can say gooder. At any rate, so that was one thing that I did. And then when I popped in the earbuds and I started listening to some positive information, we call that personal development, if you will, or self-development, self-enhancement, that lifted me even more. And it also gave me food for thought. It shook up some things that I had remembered, well, that I knew rather, but that brought it back to top of mind. And one of the things that I heard that I was listening to, I believe it was John C. Maxwell when he was talking, because again, it was a compilation. And so he basically was saying how confidence helps us to succeed. However, the thing is that with confidence, some people say, oh, well, confidence is conceited. No, it's not that. Confidence is built when we do even small, simple things over a long period of time that we set out to do. Okay, so let me break it down like this. I'll put it on a negative. Sometimes when I think of a horse or horse blinders, and we talk about what is not important or what is not something in order to define what it is. So let's talk about what it's not first of all. So let me give you a situation. So let's just say that, have you ever found yourself saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to wake up earlier, and then you don't. Or you say, okay, I'm going to start eating better, and then you don't. I'm going to start putting in more work at my job or in my own business, and then you don't. I'm going to start ironing my clothes and putting them out in the morning or at night, so that way in the morning I'm not running around looking all kinds of crazy. but then you don't. Or I'm going to start investing. I want to learn how to invest. I'm going to start investing. And then you don't. I can go on and on and on with the list, right? Whether it's small as ironing your clothes the night before, as big as investing for your future. Every time we say we're going to do something, every time we make a goal and we don't do it, we don't even take the steps. See, it's different than succeeding as far as like accomplishing that goal and even making the steps, the strides towards it. I was talking to my daughter this morning. We were listening to a podcast, and on that podcast, they were talking about success, And she was like, well, is that really successful though? And a lot of times people equate success with this. And when I said to her, I said, success is not this. There's a lot of people who have this who are very unhappy. They're miserable. As a matter of fact, I'm sure you can think of some people who have a whole bunch of this and are no longer here because they took their own life because they were just that unhappy. So this is not success, in case you guys don't know, because I know there's people all over the world that watch this, and it's maybe something that's colloquial right here in the States. But this is money, cheddar, right? Hey, how you doing, Rosa? Nice to see you, Pastor. So, the thing is that I told my daughter, this is the best definition that I've heard, and I heard it from Earl Nightingale, where he says success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea. I'm going to say that again for somebody who might want to run and go grab a pen and paper. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea, meaning that you're progressively working towards a worthy idea, something that's promising, something that's going to better either yourself or the world at large, community, something. But you're progressively working towards that. It didn't say that you succeeded at it. It didn't say that you accomplished it, but you're working towards it. That makes you a success. And for those who don't do that, that's considered failure. Now, to say something is a failure is not a bad thing, you all. Failure is on the same spectrum as success. It's just a different degree, a different level of success. So, when you move the needle forward towards success, if you will, away from failure, so you're failing less, so you're succeeding more. Failing less, so you're succeeding more. That's all on that continuum. So that's another mindset hack, you all. And we have what we feel is opposing ideas. They're actually not opposing ideas. They're just varying degrees of the same thing. So that's what success is. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. So Pastor Rosa said that we have to stop allowing social media to define success. 100%. Absolutely. Because I'm going to tell you what, more than likely, the folks that you may think is successful monetarily, right? They probably rented that. They might have rented it. That might be a Zoom background or whatever the case may be, right? So you can't always believe everything you see on social media, right? But the bottom line is that success. So that's what we were talking about that. And then taking it all the way back to the life hacks. And so when we're talking about success and making those small, simple steps, telling the truth to ourselves, working towards those things, building up to something. Because again, when we take those backward steps, when we lie to ourselves, when we set out to do something, but then we don't even take the action to do it, that's what kills our confidence more than anything. And all of those negative self-talk that we have that didn't even originate from us, because we don't come out of the wombs with negative self-talk. Hint, hint. We adopt it and adapt it from some other external force or feature. And then we rationalize it or justify it or support it or deny it based on the experiences that we have. So if we have let's say we had an idea of, oh man, let's just say if somebody thought that let's just say somebody thought they were ugly. Something that's kind of physical feature, if you will, right? Which is some other physical appearance, not the inside. Somebody said, oh, I don't feel that I'm pretty. And they may have heard that from someone that either a parent, a classmate, some other kind of loved one, a teacher even. Come on. And then they start to have experiences that conspire, if you will, with that ideology. We call that a schema, themes that run through our minds. So it corresponds with that schema. And so then they start seeing more things like, okay, well, this person, I want to talk to this person and they weren't interested. They probably didn't think you were ugly. They just thought that maybe they just weren't ready to date anybody. But now that person automatically assumes that they didn't want to talk to them because they feel like they were ugly because of what somebody else said about them. Somebody else's opinion. Other people's opinions. OPP. OPO. Other people's opinions. OPO. So, over time, all the stuff that really, that does not correspond with that. So they might even have somebody say, oh, you look so cute in that outfit. And say, oh yeah, da, 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 da. They just kind of dismiss that because that doesn't correspond with their ideology. So they just toss that right on out. So what I'm saying to you all is we adopt other people's ideologies. And then when external forces come at us and we experience things, we either say yes, 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 and take it in, or we say no, 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 that does not compute, Will Robinson. And the pendulum swings both ways. So I talked about a negative self-talk, but there's also positive self-talk and positive confidence and self-esteem. And so if somebody was, to tell me, oh, you stupid, I wouldn't believe that because I know I'm not stupid. I believe that at my core. I'm not stupid, right? So they can say those things, but I'm going to discard it because it does not correspond with my schema about myself. Life hack. I hope somebody took notes on that one. All right. Well, here's the deal. So if you would like to know more, because I would definitely love to talk more with you all. I have a meeting that I have to get ready for. But I would love to talk to you all more. If you want to talk with me more, continue this conversation, please book a free, no cost whatsoever, zero nada, free 20-minute conversation exploration with me, Michele D. Clark. You can go to my website, www.MicheleDClark.com. That's MicheleDClark.com. Again, that's one L, Michele, because you don't need two when one does the same. Or you can go down here and I'll have a bit.ly /mindset with Michele. That's also another site that you can just go straight to the booking page and book a conversation with me so we can figure out if we can work well together. And I can give you not just even mindset hacks, but also a mindset plan. Strategies, right? All right, you all. Well, I love you all to life. Make sure you catch me on Tuesday Talks with Miss Clark, LMSW, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, it's on Tuesdays. And it's here on Facebook, also on YouTube. I'll have the YouTube link down here and on LinkedIn. In the meantime, I love you all to life. Have a super sensational Saturday on purpose because you said so. Speak those things that aren't as though they were. My name is Michele D. Clark. I am the Mindset Management Coach for professional women with Lift Nation, where we are empowering women to live inspired, free, and transform. Take care. God bless.